My name is Russell Combs. I'm a business consultant at Small Business Development Center here at Duquesne University. And today I'm going to give you a very brief overview of one of the most important tools developed in quite a while to help you decide the viability of your business. And it can actually be used in two different manners. It can be used for a startup and it can be used for an existing business. It's called the Business Model Canvas, and that's the outline that's behind me. And if you're starting a business, this exercise will help you make one of three choices. Yes, I'm going into business. I may need to pivot a little bit and change my thought process, or it may even help you decide this is not a good idea after all. And if you're an existing business, it will definitely help you on decisions pertaining to growth, upgrading, possibly pivoting, and unfortunately, possibly shutting down. I'd like to start with the most important tool that you're going to use during this time that you're using the Business Model Canvas, and that's Post-it notes. And I'm going to use some today that are already printed up just for expediency's sake. The heart of the Business Model Canvas is the value proposition. And in that respect, we're going to use, as an example of a business, we're going to use lawnmower repair. Now, when you're thinking of lawnmower repair, and again, this is just an example, lawnmower repair, you're going to think, well, I'm going to work on small engines and larger engines. I'm going to work on regular lawnmowers and warranty lawnmowers, and I'm going to do push mowers and rider mowers. Now, the very next thing you're going to look at when you're thinking, now I know what business I'm going to work on. The very next thing you're going to be working on is your costs. Of course, if you're going to start a business, you need to know your cost structure. Now, in the cost structure, it gets a little bit detailed by all means. You want to start, of course, creating your operating budget. Now, you've got a lot of questions to ask about your operating budget. How about the parts and pieces for the lawnmowers? How about the truck costs? How about insurance? How about your office expenses? Your overhead expenses, the lights and the gas and the electric. You're going to have banking expenses. You're going to have legal expenses. And you're going to have laborers. Now, laborers can also be yourself. What are you going to pay yourself? Again, you're building up the idea of making decisions. Good decisions from good information. Going lawnmower repair, now we've got some basic things. We're going to talk about the cost structure. After the cost structure, the next step that you want to do, because it is related to more of the costs, so you're building your budget, is what's called key activities. Now, in the key activities, you're going to be looking at your business license, the filing of your DBA, more in depth on the insurance. And again, to reemphasize, you're working towards that operating budget. The next thing that you're going to want to look at are key resources, because that is still going to affect your your cost structure. Because your key resources are going to be your parts suppliers and your laborers. But I made a specific emphasis here because you may be wanting to use a temp agency for some of your part-time or seasonal or as you need them employees. All of these parts and pieces go towards the cost structure. Now, the next thing, after you've got all these numbers that you're going to be very concerned with, is the revenue stream. Now, with the the business that you're working on, you're looking at your basic customers, your warranty customers, and your parts sales. Now, as I hope you can see as we're going through here, what we're doing to build numbers. Your very next piece that you're going to look for is your marketing and your channels. Now, by channels, what I'm talking about is how are you going to get your customers? You're going to be doing some marketing, and it could be digital marketing. It could be special target sectors that you're looking at, and it even could be social media. You might even use traditional. Believe it or not, you may even use traditional. Now you've got the channels that you're going to start drawing your customers in with. And after you're done with your channels, now you're going to talk about your customer segments. Now what we need to discuss here is standard and commercial, your walk-in customers, and maybe even your on-site customers. Now the reason I separated those is because when you're talking about your revenue, you may even want to segment these into what area of revenue stream these are going to mean. After you're done with your customer segments, then the next part that you're going to look at is the relationships, your customer relationships. And what we mean by that, and this is a very key thing that you need to discuss and talk about, how do I keep the customers I have? And one thing that I want to point out in your discussion is loyalty. Repeat customers, maybe even a loyalty program. And last but not least, and I know we're going through this briefly, last but not least is your key partners. Now, key partners are very, very vital to any business. Because you're going to be talking to one of your partners, your attorney, your accountant, your banker, your insurance agent, and the Chamber of Commerce, and one other key partner when I was thinking of this particular business, landscapers. And I want to do a particular self-promoting. One of your other key partners that I hope that you will consider is the Small Business Development Center. Now, we have gone through this entire business model canvas very quickly on a very focused and a relatively simple business. And I apologize to any lawnmower repair person that's out there when I say simple. But it's an example of how, when you sit down and you think of starting a business, and you think that it has a very simple beginning and then you can grow it, I really urge you to do something like the business model canvas so that you can see that it takes a lot of parts and pieces to come up with good information to make good decisions. Again, my name is Russell Combs. I'm a business consultant at the Small Business Development Center at Duquesne University, and I hope that you'll consider us as a key partner. Thank you.